Now, do they go in Toronto from Maple Leaf Square? Do they immediately just peel the Matthews and Marner's frontrunner jerseys off in favor of DeMar DeRozan, and they just have like a banner on a hook that they just take down and it says Jurassic Park again?
Oh, we get a lot of shots. Everybody come to the net. We just have to get more and more pucks to the net.
We used to talk about in Vancouver getting pucks on net and
pucks on net.
Well, that's the key. We got to get the puck on net.
What were you saying about putting pucks on net?
Continue to put pucks on net, and
it's just getting pucks on net.
Pucks on net and driving it and making it a hard night on them.
Live on tape once again from Geeta's palatial estate, her apartment, her palatial estate on the 23rd floor. This is Pucks on Net, a Vancouver hockey podcast that doesn't talk about fantasy or fancy stats, or in most cases in the spring and summer months, the Vancouver Canucks.
Oh, hey, the World Hockey Championships are starting pretty soon.
Who's going, Bo?
I'm willing to bet that Bo Horvat goes. I could see Ben Hutton perhaps maybe going.
Where is it?
It's in Paris.
Trampkin's pretty close to that now.
Who?
No, you're pronouncing his name wrong.
Yeah, it's Traitor.
It's Emkin.
Tramsies. He's out of here. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, but I heard Kovalchuk is coming back.
Yeah.
Don't let
the door hit your 6'7" ass on the way out.
People talk about, he's coming back. The Canucks have his rights until 2022. He's going to come back fatter and slower than ever.
He's leaving for a good reason.
It's a fine reason, and there's more to hockey than just...
He wants to go to the Olympics.
Well, and his family and stuff.
Yeah, but it's not the real Olympics if, like, the Canadians and Americans are there.
They might have a chance at winning.
It's like when all those, like, gymnasts won the gold medals for the U.S. in the 80s because the East Germans and the Russians sat it out.
Yeah, that's right. They boycotted it.
You blamed Willie.
Yeah.
Willie's still screwing this team.
Dave, what are you, the listeners at home, what are you eating right there?
I got a chicken vermicelli with a spring roll from the delightful Vietnamese restaurant down the street, House Special.
Oh, that looks pretty good, actually.
It's very healthy and very delicious. It's a recovery meal because I had about a bajillion minutes of ice time last night.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter...
that's my teammate.
Somebody on went out of his way to tweet at pucks.net.
Yeah.
Dave had 77, had a good game.
Did you, Dave? Tell us what happened.
We won the quarterfinals last night, so we're on to the semis on Thursday.
Okay.
It was not just, I didn't just have a good game, it was a solid team effort.
Do you want us to show up for the first, 5 minutes of your final?
And then just bail?
Yeah.
Oh, we have
places to go. Then I'll score goals. So we were playing. It's the dreaded in men's league. For those of you who don't play, the dreaded junior helmet sticker guy. Oh. This time the goalie. I don't know who he was, but he had some BCHL insignias on his helmet, so we knew we were in tough. And the guy was spectacular.
Was it a Spruce King, a Timber King, a Paper King?
A Paper King. I think he was a Cowichan Valley Capital. From what I could tell.
Oh, they got a big hockey stick down in Duncan.
So we battled these guys. We outshot them badly. It took a while to crack them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got the tire with not very much time left on the clock. And then in overtime, we were shorthanded 4-on-3, and somehow all four of their players, in the panic of trying to score the game-winning goal while on the power play, ended up behind the net somehow.
And
I just kind of drifted away. I faded away. I didn't want to clap my stick. I didn't want to draw attention to myself, but I saw a teammate was about to win a puck battle, and I just went, I can see all four of their guys. That shouldn't be.
No.
When I tell you I would have had time to skate backwards on this breakaway, I probably could have done an entire figure skating routine. I had that much time. Walked in, fake short side, went top cheese, boom, boom. We win the game in overtime.
Excellent.
I was the big hero. It was a very nice moment. China Dave took me to the dime for a celebratory...
Big spender.
For a celebratory Jameson shot and beer, which I ended up paying for.
Yeah. That also sounds right.
You think he'd buy me a drink? Hey. Just saying.
Well,
Dave, if you're out there listening, I know you are. You owe me $7.
$7.
And tip.
Well, Dave eats. We'll take care of some business here and some housekeeping. Well, thank you for joining us wherever you got us from. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at pucksnetca or pucksnetca. And if you want to support the show monetarily, head on over to patreon.com/pucksonnet, and you'll hear us at the end of the show for 5 minutes for paying, where Geeta and I will talk about poke and male back tattoos. How's that sound? That's an inside scoop. We won't tell you the context.
I'm getting it lasered off. Jesus Christ.
Dave's got McPhail in Old English. So
Dave, when are you going to be 80? I don't know what you were thinking.
I know, it's pretty good. No, it's a Mickey's malt liquor tattoo. When I was an MMA fighter.
Mickey Small. Dave, you were most passionate about this. I mean, we can talk about the Leafs getting eliminated. We can talk about the feel-good story of Ottawa. But I think we should start this week's efforts in Buffalo.
Okay.
Geeta, if you weren't aware, everybody's least favorite door opener, Disco Dan Bylsma, he's fired.
I was aware because now he and Willie are both available, just like they were a few summers ago, competing for the same jobs.
Oh shit!
Oh, it's all a bit of history repeating. Dan Bylsma is a great coach when he's got Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Jordan Stahl,
Chris Letang.
Pretty good coach.
Marc-Andre Fleury on a good year.
Chris Letang on a non-injury year.
So he gets fired, which is, I mean, the team should have been better than they are. Okay. There are some good things. I mean, Eichel was injured a lot of the year, so that was questionable.
Yeah.
But there's something there that should be better than they are. They should be better than the Canucks.
Okay.
I don't know. Really. You look at that defense. Like, they've got Cody Franzen, who's okay.
Right.
Zach Bogosian, who never really hit what he was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Ristolainen, who's a few years away. Zadarov's a few years away from being what he's going to be. Their defense is a lot like the Canucks. It's guys you've heard of, but they're not good yet.
Okay.
I know him. He's going to be good.
I played with him in NHL once, and
his Chell rating is 85. Very respectable.
Well, I mean, if it's an 85.
No, the team's not as good as people think. They are further away than people would like to admit. Like, look at Tampa Bay. Look how much better Tampa is even without Steven Bloodclot Stamkos. Like, you're going to tell me that, like, Jack Eichel, you're going to look me in the eye and tell me that you're disappointed about the losing because you thought you had the horses and you didn't get there? I'm sorry. That's not true.
Now, Go on, Geeta.
No, that's what I was going to ask exactly. Like, how is Eichel to blame for this?
Well, he's not, like, basically what happened was
he's to blame for something else entirely.
Yeah, so that ties into exit interviews.
Okay.
So, GM Tim Murray, he got fired. Now, this is one, if I was going to fire one of these guys, I'd kind of fire Tim Murray over Dan Bylsma. Dan Bylsma was like a better or more successful Willie. He didn't have a good team in front of him, but he didn't really, like, what do you expect from him? So they have an okay team. I don't expect Buffalo to challenge for the playoffs. I expect them to play better, smarter hockey, but Tim Murray, he's made some questionable moves.
Can you tell me how bad they were this year?
I'll look it up.
They were like 2 games below 500, but also their goaltending, like, Robin Lehner is he's Jacob Markstrom.
Yeah,
it'd be like if the Canucks didn't have Miller.
Yeah.
They had a big, solid goalie. Again, could be good one day. Not there yet.
Okay.
So, Eichel's like, what we're pissed about, Geeta, is in the exit interview, Eichel griped about losing.
Yeah.
Said that, things aren't good enough. Things aren't going fast enough. He's been with the team 2 years. He's barely north of 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight, baby.
Yeah. And he
asked Jordan Eberle how long it took for him to get to the playoffs.
That's the thing, right? You don't walk on to a team and then start saying and doing things like that. That causes significant discord.
And yes, tell us, Jack, about all the NHL teams you've led to the playoffs, you little pipsqueak.
The Buffalo Sabres finished the year 37 for 78 points and a minus 36.
Okay.
Compared to their expansion team cousins, the Vancouver Canucks finished 30 and 43 with 69 points.
Okay.
Minus 61.
That's 4 over what Sports Illustrated had. Shows they know nothing about hockey.
Yeah, and screw you, USA Today. You don't know shit about the Canucks.
Anyway, the Buffalo team, they have some talent. Some guys didn't play up to their potential this year. But and I know at the end of the day, I'm not naive to the way the business works, that Jack Eichel is a franchise talent, and he had pretty good numbers for a guy who missed 20 games this year. I get that.
Yeah.
Don't tweet at me that I'm stupid. I totally understand.
Sure.
I know that Jack Eichel is a really, really good hockey player.
And you have to keep a guy like that in a market like that a little happy.
Where was he going to go?
Well, he has said...
Russia.
Yeah, everybody's going to Russia. We're going to Russia. I don't know if you know that. I negotiated our deals. It's KHL podcast now.
Pooks on Netza.
But he basically said, I'm not going to negotiate an extension to my RFA deal if Dan Bylsma is the coach.
Okay.
Which, it'd be one thing, if it didn't come out like that, it wouldn't be a big deal.
What would he have done? Sat at home?
he would have waited for somebody stupid to sign him to an offer sheet.
And then what? Buffalo would have matched it.
And then you would have had even more of a more bigger bullshit situation going on.
Don't you just bury those contracts in the AHL?
Can't bury Jack Eichel. They're in a rock and a hard place here. Ryan O'Reilly was also very outspoken about problems that were going on in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Or with the team. So there's something there, but just the fact that it's phrased that I'm not doing shit until this guy's gone is not looking good for a team that's not very good.
But I just hate the fact that this comes from a 20-year-old hockey player.
Yeah.
I hate it. I resent it. I will boo him until my voice is hoarse for the next 15 years while he's in the league.
The old Ryan Kessler treatment.
It's not a character move.
No.
It's not a. You know what? I don't understand where he's coming from. Like when you want to talk about an athlete who's brand conscious, and all these kids are raised to be that. Like you're now a shitbag, and we all know you're a shitbag because you don't see guys like Joe Sakic doing this. You don't see Jonathan Taves. Crosby didn't win right away. He didn't go to Mario. Get rid of Michael Therian.
I need a jazzier coach.
Yeah. Crosby had a couple of bad years in Pittsburgh before they turned it around.
Buffalo's not winning the cup in the next 5 years.
No, because one of the reasons they should have fired Tim Murray was they were doing this. Remember they did that crazy rebuild where they traded everybody twice. Yeah. We had a goalie that would win games. We got to trade him.
Yeah.
So they went out for Connor McDavid, and they got saddled with Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
And they kind of made a big deal like, well, F you, we don't need Connor McDavid. We've got Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
And so they had this rebuild in place, and then it was stunted when Winnipeg had to trade Evander Kane, who, Jesus, that's not working out the way it should have. He's expansion draft fodder. And so it's like there's all these things that have gone in the way of this rebuild. Ryan O'Reilly trade.
Oh, like there was no foresight.
Re-signing Matt Molson.
Yeah. Kyle Oxpozo.
Yeah, he did a lot of things that completely like I say they went all rebuild. Like that was a tank job.
Yeah, there was
no denying what they were
Yeah.
doing. Like they had, oh man, he's winning games, get him out of here. He's doing this, get him out of here. Like it was very obvious what they were doing. But yeah, you sign Kyle Okposo, you trade for like Matt Molson, you bring in Ryan O'Reilly, these high-priced players
with problems. Evander Kane too.
Yeah, a lot of fixer-uppers. A lot of but the house has good bones.
Yeah,
it's
reclamation projects.
It's like, do they? But so yeah, Tim Murray, maybe you're right. Maybe he had it coming, but I don't think that he should be fired by a 20-year-old kid, and that's really what happened here.
And the biggest problem is Jack Eichel, or because of this, one of the people that has been mentioned. We shouldn't say like he's the front runner, but his Boston University coach or Boston College or whatever it is. Eichel's university coach is being interviewed. So
he coaches like 14 games a year. He's got I got 3 weeks to prepare for the next game, and
they all wear bird cages.
Ugh.
Oh. I don't know if we talked about if you said this, but on Coach's Corner now, the Finn or the Swede wearing the visor is not the new Don Cherry discrediting of a hockey player.
Okay.
It's now if you've played college hockey.
Yes.
Because you up until you go to the NHL, you got a full birdcage on and you don't fight.
Yeah.
And so for a college kid to go from NCAA,
when we were watching Coach's Corner at my house,
you made that observation, and it's a good one.
I said, college kids are the new Europeans to Don Cherry.
Yeah, because they go their whole career without fighting, and then it's all of a sudden they're a tough guy.
Yeah, more or less. What do we think of his bloody suit? Sorry to change the subject.
He felt. I like as it was.
Why do people freak? Who cares?
I thought it was kind of neat.
I liked it too.
It's a suit. It's one night.
I thought maybe it was made out of like seal skin and somebody threw paint on him.
I much preferred last night's suit, the blue floral.
Yeah.
But it was fine.
I just can't. I'm offended. I had never expected Don Cherry to go on national television and wear something embarrassing.
I know, right?
He stood by it.
Maybe he needed. Maybe
I don't understand. But what was the controversy? Like, what was he?
It just became a joke. That's all it was.
I don't know if they were drawing first blood or whatever it is. It's kind of neat.
I thought maybe he had just spilt some delicious Apothic Red all over his clothes.
Yeah, I don't want to beat that into the ground too much. But if you've tweeted out to us an Apothic wine about us influencing you to buy it, thank you very much. There was a fair bit last week. If you haven't yet, please do the tweeting.
It's delicious wine.
It's good. The rosé is probably the most enjoyable, very affordable. And while we're
it's a good rosé. It's a nice rosé.
While we're selling out, maybe Don Cherry picked that outfit up put it on and picked out the fabric because he wasn't wearing his glasses.
Well, with all those options out there, Ryan, why is it that so many people, including local sports pros and Don Cherry, maybe, we don't know, trust their eyes to image optometry?
Tell me, Dave, why?
It could be there are online prices with we still are not really sure what this means, but bricks and mortar service, kind of like the bricks and mortars that Braden Holtby put up against the Maple Leafs on Game 6.
It could be the direct billing, which we now know about, and if you want to feel like a grown-up, it's walking into someplace, getting a very expensive procedure done, and not even opening up your wallet, because it goes right to the insurance company.
Just like Jack Eichel's next contract extension.
Right to the insurance company?
Tim Murray doesn't sign it. Terry Pagula, right to the source. Pagula.
It could be that they're only ones to offer a doctor's eye exam and a complete select pair of glasses for $89.95.
So much cheaper than 90 bones.
And if you're a college kid wearing a full birdcage, you don't have to wear contact lenses.
$89.95. That's the year McGillney was traded to Vancouver from Buffalo.
Whoa.
That's Geeta's second mind blower tonight. An unbeatable deal that will ensure you catch your next match in glorious HD. I mean, what else would you expect from the most affordable eye care chain in BC? Clearly contacts, more like clearly bullshit. Image Optometry, the official eye doctors of the Canucks, PMAC on the street, and Pucks on Net. Online at image.ca or image.ca. Imagine more for less. PMAC.
I'm not even going to recycle it because we sold out.
You guys,
It went right into the bin. Did you see that?
Right.
I threw it right in there.
do you want to know where that came from?
Where?
What is that?
It's an old Western spittoon, and Geeta's dipping again.
Are you on? Oh, Geeta.
Geeta's back on the dip.
What
I
is
would never. It makes my beard smell.
That's a direct quote from somebody I know, actually.
Really?
I have a cousin who dips, and he's got a beard. He's like, yeah, it gets
Oh,
in there.
I've been saying that for a while. Stop doing it. It makes your beard smell. I was at the Tiki Room on Saturday
And
night.
you stole it?
And I unscrewed their lampshade.
Geeta.
You stole a lampshade from
Every
the
time,
tiki room?
every time we go there, we took one of their bowls that our drink was in.
All right. You know what? Coming up.
How do you walk out of that? Thing's huge. You have like the biggest purse ever.
No.
She acted as she was pregnant.
Fair
Are you
enough.
expecting?
After you drank, I'm like, yeah, a girl came in again, 7 Mai Tais deep, one for every month she's pregnant.
Good. Yeah, we ordered 2 bowls, and then
She
and
drank
I'm
the
pregnant.
bar.
Who you in the Dibsters?
No.
We'll talk about on 5 minutes we're paying about Geeta stealing things while drunk, allegedly.
Wait, what?
It's behind a paywall. Don't worry.
Okay.
It's not called stealing, it's reaccommodating.
Yeah, there's some nice
I
things.
rehomed things.
Kind of like how the Washington Capitals reaccommodated the Toronto fans back to the Raptors.
I am sad. Okay, well, I've talked about the last 2 weeks that I, as a selfish Canucks fan, that there's everything about the Leafs I like, and I wanted to see. There came a point where I said, "Screw it! Nobody likes the Capitals. They're underachieving losers. I want the Leafs to win."
Yeah.
But they're out. Nothing wrong with that. I thought that they made that series way too close than it actually was, and you could watch the Toronto Maple Leafs be kids, and you could watch them not play properly, and give up the puck, and give up chances, and cough up the puck in the neutral zone, in the trolley tracks, and the Capitals were just kind of. They wouldn't take advantage. Like, they didn't have that killer instinct.
Yeah.
Like they knew they were better than them, and they didn't want to.
They're like, we're gonna win this. Let's just win it.
I kind of.
But they were like, they won those games in overtime.
Yeah.
Like that's a bounce away in each game from them going home.
Totally.
And then what?
And then Austin wins the Conn Smythe.
Well, I think this victory at least buys the Capitals another year of this bullshit. No one's getting traded or fired now.
Who are they playing next? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Oh, so then that's where it stops.
Talk about going behind a paywall. I don't give the Capitals much chance in this series. I really don't. I think Pittsburgh's they're going.
Do we think Pittsburgh's going to the final?
Pittsburgh is a fine-tuned machine.
I have one concern.
Oh.
Marc-Andre Fleury. He's given up 4 goals in his last 2 games. Like he's given up 8 goals in his last 2 games total.
My question.
I would go back to the kid if he's healthy.
Are you? Well, you go with the hot kid. You go with the hot guy when goaltending in the playoffs.
I might give Fleury game 1, but he's on a short leash.
Yeah, and he should always have been.
He should also his whole career.
His whole
short
career.
leash. All right, that's a bad goal.
Not like Brian Elliott, which was ridiculous. Getting pulled for Ocho Cinco like after the first goal.
I couldn't believe that.
Well, both those guys aren't getting re-signed.
Who's going to be a goaltender for the Calgary Flames now?
They're going to get a mulligan on Ben Bishop. They're getting a do-over because they almost got him last year.
Right, yeah.
This time for sure.
We didn't. There's no surprises. The Ducks are a big playoff team that's far more skilled.
No, they were going to win that series. It was just unfortunate that the way Game 3 went down.
Well, they blew it.
You blew it. But like Brian Elliott does this 8 out of 10 times he's a good goalie, but those 2 times he's not, it's pretty bad.
And when you don't have the St. Louis Blues defense in front of you,
yeah, without Hitchcock clogging up the neutral zone with his leftover donuts,
they're going back to the future in Dallas with Hitch.
I know they are. Brett Hall's going to come back and stand in the crease. It's going to be great.
Hasek's going to be there so mad.
He's so mad. What the f*** is this?
You can't do that!
In better news, the Edmonton Oilers went fishing and killed the Sharks off, much to the delight of pretty much everybody.
Did you hear how hurt Jumbo is?
No.
Torn ACL.
And he was out there playing?
And ACL. MCL and ACL were injured. In some
How is he
capacity.
playing?
He's a hockey player. He's a man's man.
He's coming back next year.
They're free agents, him and Patty Marmars. Mm-hmm. But I think if you can get him back for less than you were paying him last year, you do it.
Do you think they'd leave?
I don't think that they would. They don't seem like they would.
They'd rather. They're basically the Steen twins tied together to San Jose.
Very much. Wow. Patty Marleau was on the trade block for the Sharks for like 8 years, and it never happened. And now they've backed off that.
I'm starting to think
they've both been stripped of the captaincy at different times. Who is the captain? Is it Little Joe?
Yeah.
So they'll be
now.
They'll be stripping him in about 2 years?
Yeah.
Then Couture will get his chance.
And then Brent Burns will finally get his when he's about 40.
And then they'll strip that off too.
They'll give it to Hurdle, et cetera, et cetera. It's tradition.
You don't know what he's wearing under that beard. There may be a C there already.
If Brent Burns signed with the Leafs, he'd have to shave his beard according to team rules.
No, they're allowing it for the playoffs.
They grandfather it in. This guy doesn't shave his beard ever.
Yeah.
Burns?
That's not a playoff beard.
I'm pretty sure there's a baby bird living in there.
Yeah, that's how I came into training camp with this man beard.
I'm starting to think of based on what happened in Chicago.
Yeah.
In the sweep.
Yeah.
What's stopping Jumbo and Peppermint Patty from going on the Brad Richards cheap to Chi-Town to win a Stanley Cup?
Because they don't. The Blackhawks won't want them because they don't play Blackhawks hockey.
What's Blackhawks hockey?
Speed. Greasy demon speed.
I feel like that's a lot of personalities in that locker room.
They already tried that last year.
I could see Boston picking both of them up.
Oh yeah.
I could see he could go home again. Okay. Bring his buddy Patty with him.
Did he leave Boston on good terms?
Yeah, ish. It was a very surprising trade. If memory serves, when it happened, it was kind of like, whoa, record scratch. It did not work out well for the Bruins.
He went on to win the Hart or something that year.
The year he got traded, he was the first NHL player in history to win the Art Ross Trophy and the Hart Trophy the year that he was dealt.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Honestly, I think it's all moot. I think they end up re-signing 1-year contracts in San Jose. But anyway, Edmonton, though, big time congratulations to those boys. And that must have felt pretty good for Coach Todd McClellan.
Oh, yeah, T-Mac, Uncle T-Mac.
Uncle T-Mac just opening the door for Connor and the kids.
Well, and yeah, again, you kind of forget of all the coaching storylines that were in the playoffs this year. T-Mac against his former team.
Yeah.
AV versus Claude Julien. Mike Sullivan upsetting his old cult leader Torts.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of little things there.
His old cult leader.
You're gonna yell, damn it!
I don't want to yell. I'm not that kind of guy. I said yell.
Montreal Canadiens got eliminated.
Yeah, to the surprise of nobody.
I'm kidding.
That's a bad hockey team.
They are a bad,
do they know it?
I think their fans are starting to. So, super fan Alan Atmansky and big fan of the show is finally seemingly, just based on the conversations I've had with him over the last couple days, he's starting to realize what we've all known for quite some time.
Yeah.
That they're not a good hockey team. They're not a good hockey team. Carey Price props that team up big time.
Well, that was exposed last season.
It's exposed every season.
No, but last season without Carey Price, it was glaring. And then Carey Price came back and they made the playoffs.
They're a first/second round team, and that's all this core is ever going to be.
I was thinking about it on paper, and if you combine the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens, you would have a second round exit team.
Yep.
You got five good forwards.
Yeah.
A lot of sandpaper.
Yeah.
3.5 defensemen.
Well, it's like I
one
said,
good goalie.
It's like I said on the show. Their bottom 6 forwards are garbage.
Literal garbage.
Like there's no chance you're gonna score. Turns out Max Pacioretty's one of them.
Oh, he's the worst. He's the worst.
He had as many goals as you did in the playoffs this year, Ryan.
I had a good playoff run.
Pretty good run.
I gotta say, little sidebar. I watched so much hockey last week. I had a very accepting schedule, and almost every night of the week we were together, or some capacity, some combination of people.
Saturday was the highlight of my whole week. That was awesome.
I heard I was invited to guys' night.
It wasn't guys' night.
Boys' night in.
That's what it was.
But then
called.
I would have rebranded. I would have been
like, I'm not one of the boys.
Pucks on Net night in with Errol.
Well, I mean, it's not playoff hockey without Errol.
I can't kick him out. He lives there.
Errol, can you go sit in your room? My friends are coming
so
over.
So it's not guys' night out. It's guys' night in. If you're here, Geeta won't walk in the door. She's in the hall.
Well, what I said was like, oh, we're having a boys' night in, and you've been invited. Dave's invited the girliest girl we know to boys' night in.
Yeah, but she likes hockey.
She would have come in wearing a dress and having like appetizers and something.
I would have had to vacuum part of the couch for her to sit on in some capacity.
I would have put newspaper down.
I had actually. Hey, it's me we're talking about here. I had
exactly.
I had vacuumed that day. The house is. Ask Brian. My house is spotless.
It was very clean, and you shouldn't waste that newspaper because that's for the pending Patreon puppy that we're gonna get.
Right.
Patreon.com/pucks.
We're gonna name it Horvat.
The puppy mill
/puppy.
Yeah, but it's sad because
it's a cockadoodle or whatever the people are doing. Labradoodle. So it's so inbred from the breeding that it just keeps walking into the wall. It's just like
those are purebred dogs.
Horvat, come here.
It doesn't bark. It just breathes.
Better just change its name to Maroon. Doofus dog. Stupid inbred doofus labradoodle.
Well, all right. Well, let's talk about something very positive,
okay.
And that's how the Ottawa Senators have every feel-good story that ever.
They got a lot going for them, those kids.
Okay, we'll start at the top.
We don't care about the Ottawa Senators in the show normally.
No. They're
special.
They have a special place in Geeta's heart, just like the Mississauga Ice Dogs or the 97 World Juniors.
I think most of Jason Spez's hair is back in Ottawa.
I used to watch a lot of Ottawa Senators hockey in the day.
You're like the only one. They're a Canadian team,
yeah.
And I somehow forget they exist all the time.
Like, oh yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, those guys.
I was lucky enough to watch a lot of Daniel Alfredson.
You're gonna watch a lot of Vegas Golden Knights hockey when Spezza goes in the expansion draft.
So much Golden Knights. I'm really looking forward to the Vegas trip, by the way.
Oh yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, because I've never been to I've never set foot in the city of Las Vegas.
I've never drank in an airport before.
So
we're
taking a boys trip to Vegas.
It's a Pucks on Net trip.
Oh yeah, it's a business trip
with Errol.
No, not Errol.
No, it's a.
Why can't we bring Errol?
The Black Ace is organizing it. He's already
just wait back here. Will we all go to Las Vegas without you? That's kind of mean.
Kinda.
He can book a flight. Travelocity.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's on his own dime. I didn't say that we were paying for it.
Oh yeah. Well, we need somebody else to lug the gear.
Okay.
Ottawa. Okay, it starts at the top.
Yeah, couldn't we bring him as a roadie?
Exactly. We just to
hold my purse.
It's a big purse.
Listen, what
I got a bunch of stolen shit in it.
It's a brick in there just in case something goes down.
There's some bricks and mortar.
These bricks are free, right?
So, Clark MacArthur, we famously remember at the beginning of training camp this year, he
got beat up by the AHL kid, yeah.
And then the entire Ottawa Senators beat the shit up.
Right.
They bounced him out of the Corral or the Canadian Tire.
Did they literally bounce him out of the arena?
I would have.
That kid's never playing again.
Yeah, and remember we talked about it before the season started. It's like, be careful with Clark MacArthur. He's coming off concussions. He hadn't played since 2015. And then we have this doofus goon. And, hey, don't do anything stupid out there. And he hits Clark MacArthur in the head as hard as humanly possible. And he got the shit kicked out of him in a scrimmage. And, I mean...
It was bad. That was almost criminal what happened to that kid.
If I was that kid, like, I would have left. I would have done the minor hockey thing and left in the gear.
They sent him back to Binghamton.
Yeah. During while they were still on the ice. Because
I think they did. I think they literally sent
Go.
him down
Well, like,
that day.
Chris Neal, like, alone could have murdered him, and
He fought twice, didn't he? Didn't he fight twice?
I forget what went down, but he fought in the scrimmage, which is very unheard of. This is a training camp
Right.
scrimmage.
It's not that unheard of.
Well,
maybe in the old days it happened more.
Well, that's like when you'd go to Canucks training camp and there'd be goons from the IHL beating the shit out of each other.
No, but there would be.
Yeah.
Like that. I have real memories of like going to the training camps in Whistler with my friends and their parents. Like we'd make it was usually like nice out still. It was still September.
Yeah.
We'd make a weekend of it and go up and watch. And there would
Right.
be like there would be these fucking knuckle draggers from the IHL and from wherever on PTOs, and their way of trying to get onto the team would be to literally fight their way on it. I remember John Craighead, for one, is a guy that I really remember, who was just like, it was like the Undertaker going through the whole WWE roster. Just choke slam, choke slam, choke slam.
Oh, yeah. And
he almost made the team.
I think it was, and you're so close to the ice in these smaller rinks.
Right.
The violence is shocking.
You can hear just like fist on skull of I gotta make the league. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, for the first half of our men's league game last night, we had one ref until the second one was able to show up, because in the game before ours, a guy got a mundane hooking penalty,
Yeah.
went to the box, served his penalty, came out of the box, punched the referee in the face twice, and broke his jaw and sent him to the hospital.
And then he came back wired up.
How is that okay?
So we watched it happen, and then we went back in. Dave was late, so he showed up a little late for the game. Like, he got dressed on time, but he showed up like 10 minutes before puck drop. He's like, yeah, there's like a lot of cops outside.
Holy
and we're like,
shit.
So that there are consequences to that behavior.
oh yeah,
That's
for sure.
not normal.
From what we know, he was arrested.
Okay.
That's assault, brother.
Yeah.
So we had one ref for the first half of the game, and he was pretty funny. He was like, guys, I'm pretty old and I don't skate that well. I ain't calling shit.
Putting the whistles in the pocket.
Pretty much. He's like, just like, but like luckily the team we played last night were on really good terms with them, so there was nothing.
It's a gentleman's game.
It was a gentleman's game. It was a hard hitting, like they were a big team. But there was a lot of contact, but there was no fuckery of any kind.
So it was not an Ottawa Senators spring training scrimmage.
No, Clark MacArthur would have been.
Preseason.
He would not have had to put on the red jersey. He would have been very safe.
Well, he's got the red jersey on again, but that's the home jersey.
Yeah.
So he has played a great series. He scored the overtime winning
That was
goal.
great puck movement on that power play goal.
Like just
all of that was good.
And then you have Craig Anderson,
his wife.
I think it's Nicole.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole. She went to the game 6 in Boston.
Yeah.
And like, if you've ever I think it was clearly it was clearly obvious. I think she had a wig on.
Yeah.
And just to see her out and about,
Right.
cheering on her husband, like that'll make anybody shed a tear.
Are you saying that the team of destiny?
They got a lot of good things going for them.
Well,
I think they'll go further than we thought.
I am going to admonish somebody, a group of people. And it's a group of people that we've admonished before, but I feel like I have an actual case now, and it's not based on hatred of old. It's new hatred.
Okay.
Boston Bruins fans, if you're out there listening, I don't want you listening to our show anymore. You are the worst people in the world.
Well, they're not Flyers fans.
They're getting there.
What did they do, Dave?
So the Ottawa Senators, Clark MacArthur gets that goal.
Yeah.
It's all good. A bunch of fans run up and immediately start spilling their beer on the Senators players. And then even as Guy Boucher is coming out to shake the Bruins coach hand, he's being pelted with garbage.
Yeah.
And like every fan, even young and old, are flipping the bird.
Look at that beautiful 4-year-old boy flipping the bird with his old man.
You won a cup, you Southie pricks. Like, what the f*** is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's like, why are you throw it at your Boston players?
No, I tweeted right at the Bruins while this was happening. They're not going to respond, but I tweeted right at their Twitter account. I'm like, if you could make a PA announcement right now,
that'd be nice.
Refraining your fans from throwing things on the ice and spilling alcohol on the players, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I watched the whole thing. No such announcement was made. And shame on you, Boston Bruins, and shame on you, the fans. That's garbage. That's bullshit. There's no place for it in the game. And I hope that you keep Chara till he's 45 years old, and you don't make the playoffs next year.
I will say, I shouldn't. Like a casual drunk guy is not going to know that's Craig Anderson's cancer-fighting wife. But there was no bullshit that came out with her there. So
But isn't it funny that you're worried about that? You would only worry about that in Philly or Boston.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. We worried about that in who was getting heckled in Vancouver.
Lucic's grandparents.
Listen, it's a two-way street. Let's
Yeah.
not. But Boston and Philly, that's a hard town. They're hard fans, but
They're
nobody.
white, they're white trash. It's
Yeah,
like
but that behavior is inexcusable.
Yeah, and it's not just a Boston one, but they seem to be the front runners of bullshittery.
You don't get to say that it's culture or whatever.
I
and
think
do
that-
be-
I
do
think-
that. Like,
yeah, no.
We don't live in that kind of world.
well, clearly we do.
Well, Philadelphia, I mean, they've been throwing batteries at relief pitchers for 50 years now.
Stop it.
That's-
Recycle it.
That's tradition.
Son, throw the batteries.
I don't want to.
Wouldn't it be great if it's
I like Justin Verlander. I don't care if you like him or not. He's on the other team. Throw the battery.
you don't recycle batteries at Philly. You take them to the Phillies game. You throw the batteries at the players, and that's how it's always been, and that's how it's going to be.
Like you meet a new girl, you have a new girlfriend, and it turns out she's from Philadelphia, and you're like, honey, like, why do you save all the batteries? Well, for when the Flyers are in town.
You go to the Flyers game, and your purse is full of it.
She's like an accountant. She's totally normal.
Yeah.
And then she's got this one. I got this one thing. I'm really normal. I like to go to Soul Cycle.
Big Flyers fan.
I'm like, I recycle. I'm a normal woman. But I like to go to hockey games and throw AA batteries at the other team because my dad did it and his dad did it before him.
Bo Horvat, you motherfucker. Throwing at the warm-up. And here come the Triple A's, folks. Oh, that's got to hurt.
Oh, but you can't argue with tradition that's been around since Bobby Clark. Since the days of Ed Sheeran coaching the team.
Hey, you can't make fun of Bobby Clark. He's got diabetes.
What?
Well, that can't be true because I saw him the other day drinking one of them unicorn frappuccinos. So we got one at work the other day and we split it.
Ew.
We put it into little cups just to have it taste.
What it tastes
Ew.
like.
Like, do you want my on? Like, not like
Like
outside of
15
jokes.
spoonfuls of sugar?
It tasted like someone melted down a sour key
Really?
and you're drinking it, but it's the worst aspects of the sour key.
Just the pain.
The sugar?
Like all the fillings in it's like biting down on tinfoil. Your ears are ringing.
I thought it would taste like cotton candy or something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have to go right to the dentist after one sip.
Oh, that's
Now, like,
There's nothing about it that...
Starbucks sells like Ethos water and like healthy lunches. Like, who are they trying to? Are they just like f it now? Like whatever.
I don't know.
Children.
Is it spring break? No.
no.
They're doing what I've been telling McDonald's to do for years. This is what my theory on McDonald's. You know, McDonald's is like marketing like they're putting the calories in the menu and
Yeah.
then marketing the salads. F that. No way. That's a huge mistake. I'm the CEO of McDonald's tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm upping the ante on everything because when you walk into McDonald's, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're not there. If you want to you're going to go to Salad Loop if you want to eat something healthy. I'm tripling down.
You
on-
know what you're doing when you go to big.
You want that salty aftertaste.
I'm going to do lard burgers. Like I'm going to I'm with my H-bomb sauce, which is just just like the thickest mayonnaise, pure full fat mayo. I'm going to put butter. I'm going to invent butter fries.
That's fat. That's Five
Just
Guys.
Butter fries.
Geeta is looking like you look like you're having a stomachache just
Yeah,
from
like
listening to
my
this.
arteries are clogging as Dave speaks.
The McButterface burger, a buttered bun inside and out, triple bacon with maple syrup on it. Go hard or go home, McDonald's. Stop trying to sell me your walnut salads.
Oh, you mean just get rid of the buns and do what KFC does? Just
Double down,
just
baby.
put mustard between two patties.
Well, that's what I think. This unicorn frap is the double down of Starbucks. It's shocking.
Is it the downfall of Starbucks?
I think it might just be. No, because we're all talking about it, so it's working.
It's a
shitty.
It's a great publicity
They don't
move.
actually expect anybody to drink these things. They just want you to
And
talk
yet
about
people
it.
keep drinking them.
I hear it takes the barista like a half an hour to make it.
I would like a grande unicorn frappuccino.
I can
If
wait.
If you have especially
Half fat, no whip.
if you have an especially snooty singer-songwriter for barista who keeps calling you Geeta, just like order your regular coffee and then get a unicorn frap just to f up their day.
It's Geeta Ratty.
You're gonna create such a backup. We're short on whatever this shit is.
But only after I've already paid for my regular coffee. Oh, I'd also like a unicorn frappuccino.
Separate transaction.
Yeah, but make it a venti.
Yes. The unicorn frappe is the hockey equivalent of Jack Eichel firing his own coach. Pointless and sad.
That's pretty funny.
And bad for your teeth.
Let's go on. I texted PMAC, who's not here. I think he's helping. He's running some sort of errands with his mother.
Okay.
So he's not here this week.
That's so nice.
Well, that's why that's how he lives in that palatial estate.
He's a sweet boy.
I texted him for his second round picks, but I'm not going to hear him.
Okay.
So we'll go around the room.
All right.
And we were pretty good on the first round picks, except for Chicago.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I have a bold prediction. And then I
think I picked Minnesota to win that series as well.
I think we all did.
I picked Minnesota too.
Yeah.
I think I went 4 for 8.
When you got a starting goalie that has to go home and learn how to play goal again, you don't really bank on him in the playoffs.
But it worked.
Apparently it works.
Cherokee Jack taught him how to play. Sweep the puck, Jake.
I just want to say I lost that bet to Dave.
Oh, yeah. So there'll be
one chocolate thing, please.
You'll get it. Here's the thing: she'll get it on the cheap too.
It's after Easter.
It'll be 40 cents for a 6-pound rabbit.
How about a frappuccino?
That's what you got to do next week.
Okay, sure.
All right.
A coffee. You can buy me a coffee.
Oh, that's
Deal.
beautiful.
But an expensive one. A classy coffee.
Ooh.
One that takes at least
from an establishment of your choice.
There might be some kind of salted caramel in this coffee.
From the McCafe.
But I'm also going to get a lard burger.
I'm making this
with
now.
H-bomb sauce.
I'm making this bold prediction now.
Yeah.
We will see a big trade between the Chicago Blackhawks and the Colorado Avalanche. They're going to trade some sort of
That's actually a really good
a
call.
reclamation project?
They're going to trade a Landeskog or a Duchesne.
Ooh, Landeskog would look good in Chicago red.
And they're going to somehow...
But for a what?
I don't know. A Seabrook.
Oh.
A Hossa. Teravainen.
Teravainen doesn't play there anymore. But
No, sorry. I'm thinking of...
they already did that.
Breadman.
I'd get Hossa for next year on the off chance I make the finals.
I don't think...
Artem Anisimov.
I think that Landeskog... I think those boys have loser smell on them. I wouldn't want them.
But who's got winner
He's gonna
smell?
He's gonna be that guy who goes to Chicago and it's like, oh, I thought they were gonna be good.
Well, I mean that was Dale. that was Dale Weiss. What the is going on here? I thought we were winning the cup this year.
I thought it was a given.
They're not on their way down.
I think they are.
Well, Stan Bowman.
Really?
Stan Bowman's like, there will be changes made. They fired their assistant coach, and I think that there's something is afoot, and I think there are some expendable guys there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see a Colorado Avalanche, Chicago Blackhawks trade, I called it. So that's all I'm saying. I
can see Matt Duchesne going over there.
There's going to be something.
Okay.
And
Duchesne.
Let's before as Dave gets ready to take off, let's do our second round picks. Edmonton, Anaheim. I'm going to start.
Fine.
No, Geeta, you start then.
No, you wanted to.
Oh no, you brought that up.
Anaheim.
With your pink hair.
Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Oh yeah, it looks good. I like it.
Thank you.
It's subtle.
It's very nice.
Thanks.
So you're picking Anaheim.
I'm taking Anaheim.
How many games?
6.
Any reason why?
I want to cheer for Edmonton. My gut says Anaheim.
Is this because the last team you got emotionally invested in lost and broke your heart?
Maybe. Something along those lines. I'm just like, I got a gut feeling.
Oh, you're playing hard to get with Edmonton.
I've got a gut feeling.
Dave?
Last round, she gave Matthews her heart, and the very next day, he turned her heart over to Ovi and gave it away. I am definitely rooting for Edmonton. I want the record that I'm rooting for them, but I'm going with the Anaheim Ducks in 5 games. Just too big, too experienced. They can skate with them, unlike Anaheim, or unlike San Jose. They have guys with wheels who can keep up with them. I think Kessler's going to cancel out Connor.
Yeah.
I'll take Oil.
And John Gibson
I'll
is
take
hot right now.
Oil in...
I thought you said Boyle. I was
6.
like, wrong team.
Oil.
I'm not even playing anymore, Ryan.
Oil in 6 games, winning at the Rexall, or the Rogers Rexall Ford Place, and White Avenue turns orange, and then orange, and then white again.
Call it the it's called Frack City Dome.
Frack City.
That's a slick pick.
Frack City, baby.
St. Louis, Nashville. Dave, what do you got?
Both teams bore us to death, and it's still 0-0 in the 50th overtime. No, Nashville's going to win that series.
Any number?
5 games.
I'm going to take Nashville 6 games, and that's just because not only will there be a Colorado Avalanche Colorado Avalanche, Chicago Blackhawks trade, you will hear Gary Bettman say, in the worst thing you'll ever hear,
Yeah.
Mike Fisher, come on over here and get the Stanley Cup.
Take the Stanley Cup by the wheel like Jesus.
Or no, it's like Carrie Underwood, on behalf of your husband, come on over here and get the Stanley Cup.
Now that's the optic that they really want.
Yeah.
Their Nationals.
That's exactly what the NHL wants. That's why they expanded to that market.
But she's the Sunday Night Football singer.
That's right.
That's NBC, right?
I'm really
so
pretty,
it's okay.
but I vote for Trump, so that makes it hard to like me.
It's the same network.
Whoa. You know what we call that? Brand synergy.
All right, Geeta, who do you got in
the
that
board of directors they've just finished.
Who do you got in that series?
I'm taking Nashville, even though St. Louis has Bouwmeester and Upshaw.
But Nashville has PK.
Yes.
And you are a what? A card carrying?
Oh, a Subaniac?
Yeah.
I haven't been one in a while.
Washington, Pittsburgh, the old tradition. It's just like the Buffalo Bills going to the Super Bowl.
You said that, but this is like only the second time they played the playoffs.
Really? What about in the late 2000s?
Yeah, it was one series, bud.
Whatever.
It was memorable.
Pittsburgh's going to win 5 games.
Yeah, so just on behalf of everyone, Pittsburgh's going to win that series.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, 5 games.
Geeta?
Pittsburgh, and I'll say 5.
7 games for Pittsburgh.
Really?
And
they're gonna muster something.
Washington could have also lost to Toronto really easily.
Nah, I don't know. I'm thinking they're gonna push it. They're gonna push it real good.
I hope Ovechkin can score some goals like he doesn't do in the playoffs ever.
He had a great series.
Did he?
Yeah, check your numbers again, bud.
I
think he scored like 6 goals.
Did he?
He was he was good for almost a goal a game. If you run the numbers, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be right.
Okay, well, let's go to finally Rangers, Ottawa. Geeta, who do you got?
I'll go Ottawa.
In
6.
Spezza with the OT winner?
That's right.
Yeah. Dave?
Double overtime.
He's back. I'm gonna go New York Rangers in 6 games.
I'm going to pick Ottawa 7 games just because they got Jesus and Destiny and all the good things on their side.
Hank Lundqvist has remembered who he is. Rick Nash is playing well. Matt Zuccarello is playing well. The Rangers have experience.
Mm-hmm.
So is that the most interesting of the 4 matchups?
No, it's the least interesting of the 4 matchups. The most interesting matchup to me is obviously the Washington-Pittsburgh series.
Yeah.
That's Mega Bowl.
Pittsburgh's in their own head about the Sidney Crosby kid. And Pittsburgh knows how to win and knows how to turn it on and win and make something out of nothing.
They're making the playoffs great again.
Dave, as you wrap up, because you got to go back to work, I got
do.
an email from here. This is from Arjun. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He signs it AJ, so I'll just say AJ.
Okay.
Hi, guys. AJ from Chilliwack. I love the podcast. Started listening 4 weeks ago. Sidebar, this is not an email. AJ, I want to know how you found the podcast. Please reply to this email. And I'm just curious. Great banter. Dave reminds me of my mother. To which I say, Dave reminds me of his mother, too. Very opinionated on hockey. Short-tempered. Usually correct about hockey. Very opinionated.
It's true. Although I don't smoke filter-tip cigarettes like Mother does.
I want to ask what you think about Virtanen in this stage. Should we be hopeful or dismissive of his improvement in Utica, etc.?
I think we should be hopeful. The fact that he's thin again. Now, it's going to be interesting.
Make Jake thin again?
When he goes off on his own this summer, it's like a kid who went from a C- to a C+. It's marginal improvement, but noteworthy. Now, if he keeps up with the reading program over the summertime, then there's hope for him. It literally is. It's like, are you going to pick up the weights or the Molly Percocet? It's up to you.
Are you going to pick up literal weights?
Or put on literal weights?
Yes. Yeah. Is it a boiler or is it the gym?
So I'm positive.
He's going to be on a boat in Vancouver, in Cole Harbor, listening to Future.
Just giving
her
pie in each hand.
Although he only made like $70,000 this year, so it'll be a rental.
Yeah, that's right. He doesn't get a lot of money. So Dave, you can you want to? It's 7:42. You want to wrap up?
I gotta get going. I gotta get on the phone with Bangalore. They're waiting for me.
Say hello from Geeta.
From Geeta.
Do you have any closing?
We know her.
Closing remarks for the week?
Yeah, sure do. Good luck to the Edmonton Oilers. I think they're gonna need it.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Wayne keeps going to the games, and I want to see his like 5 Wayne Gretzky Cabernets deep face reacting to the hockey.
Whoa!
He is the definition of senior advisor hire.
He is.
What do you do around there, Wayne? Couple of things.
He looks a lot better than Marty Brodeur does in his commercial.
Marty's a big boy.
Wayner's glad handing the high rollers. These guys are from the fracking industry, Wayne. Pose for a picture. Yeah, okay.
Is that Walter? No, that's Wayne.
Connor's better than me. Fuck. God damn it. 97. Woohoo. I was 99. Anyway, on that note, good luck, everybody. Goodbye.
All right, Dave will sign off.
Dave.
We'll turn his mic down.
I'm out of here.
Boom, mic drop. Mic drop. So that'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. And what did we talk about? What did we say we were going to talk about in 5 minutes for paying, Geeta?
Beard? No.
Poke.
Poke. Oh my
And-
God. Ryan and I went to like this delicious poke place
And we're
on Richard Street.
And back tattoos.
And back tattoos.
And something else. Oh, you stealing stuff.
Do we want to call it
Repurposing.
stealing?
Rehoming.
Rehoming.
So that'll wrap it up for this week's podcast. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at pucksonet.ca or pucksnetca. And if you want to support the show, listen to 5 Minutes for Paying, which you've already given a fantastic preview about. Head on over to patreon.com/pucksonnet. You can pledge money monthly. There's pucks, there's T-shirts, there's invites to the Pucksnet Christmas party.
Thanks for cleaning up, Dave.
What's Dave doing right now?
He's like looking for garbage. It's under the sink.
He's looking for batteries.
Exactly
He's got a
where you-
Flyers game to go to. And if you make sure you like us on Facebook, Instagram, if you want to support the show, iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes.
What should they do on iTunes?
They should rate and review.
How positively or negatively?
Whatever they feel, honestly.
Well, I mean, Sheila did that, and now she's blacklisted.
Oh,
It's now up to a 2-star review.
we also do appreciate constructive. Put those in an email, though.
Yeah, if you don't like something we're doing, just email us. But in terms of iTunes and that horrible Steve Jobs algorithm, just 5 stars just makes it easier for all of us.
Yeah.
And
You know what else I wanted to talk about today? And although Dave's leaving, is 13 Reasons Why. So next week.
well, why? What do you want to talk about right now? Or you want you?
I know, because I want to talk about it while Dave's here. You haven't watched it.
Okay, well, what can you set up for? Why do you want to talk? Well,
Hey,
little teaser.
How about if listeners are watching,
Yeah.
send us your emails and your thoughts on the show, and we'll leave it at that.
It's a polarizing show.
It's an intense watch.
I've heard that it glamorizes rape.
I finished. Yeah.
Oh.
It's an intense watch. Yeah,
Okay, should I watch it?
you should watch it.
Really?
Yes.
Will I be able to sleep?
You'll be able to sleep. It gets graphic towards the end. I hope that's not a spoiler. It covers things really well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that next week. We'll go into 5 minutes for paying. Geez, I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say to listeners that aren't? Is it in front of the paywall?
No, thank you so much for listening. You know how much we appreciate it.
Geez, that's just adorable. All right, stand by for 5 minutes for paying.